Because when I was in France, he didn't really picture me as the Indian girl. Of course, I look Indian, but we were not doing anything Indian. Like we were just having food, French food, Italian food, European food. And I was just wearing a lot of Western clothes. And when he came to India, he just saw a different me.
Yeah. Because it's so much different. The culture here, we can be very rude very quickly. We can feel disrespected by someone for nothing. But when you go to India, everyone is coming to you. Everyone asks you the same question 20 times, the same question. So it's very complicated because you act like you are friends, and you can be very angry very easily. And the environment is not the same. It was very hot, crowded.
He was a mess. The first time in India, he was a mess.
I was not expecting that. It was very wow. I had a little cultural shock because the world is different.
Welcome to International Love Story, the podcast about intercultural relationships. My name is Christina, and in today's podcast episode, I'm going to welcome Sunanda. She's from India, and Jordy, who's from France. Before we head into the conversation, I really, really hope that you guys will be able to hear me proper, because we have a lot of construction areas going on. Everyone who is listening to the podcast, I do my best to work on the podcast episode so that you will not hear any of the background noises, but it's quite crazy in Buenos Aires right now. We have one construction area right behind us and two more just on the other side of the street. So I hope we will not be disturbed too much today. But again, I'll make sure that the experience for those ones who are listening is not going to be too bad. And with this being said, let's just dive into your guys' story. Who are you? What are you guys doing? Tell us all about you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sunanda, and I'm from Darjeeling, India. I just graduated from school and from my college, and I was in the hospitality industry for a while, and I'm still in the hospitality industry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jordy. I'm from the north of France, in a city which is called Lille. I moved 2 years ago to Annecy, and I'm working in the bank.
And obviously, what we're going to talk about is your love story as well. But before we start a deep dive, you've been sharing in the beginning that you've been on a little mini vacation, more or less, for a couple of days. So, Sunanda, you were able to explore France a little bit more. So you were able to explore it together. Like, how was it for you guys? How was your
Yes,
vacation?
I think this vacation was very different because normally we met during winters, and I've never seen summer in France. I never knew how France looked during summers. And I think the south of France is very underrated, but I think it's the most beautiful part of France. The south, it's amazing. And we had a really good time because it was our first summer together.
How much time did you spend together on vacation? 2 weeks, right? Or 1 week?
Yes, 2 weeks. That's right.
So you really had some time to soak it all in, to take it easy going, and to explore France a little bit better, the hometown of your partner, which I find very interesting. That's why I was just asking, because I remember my first times in Argentina, like there's always something new to explore. And living here right now is just so crazy to me, like thinking about how it all started, that we've explored Argentina together, but we've also explored Germany together, where I'm from. And it just like adds a different layer to your relationship if you're able to explore each other's country together. But I'm sure this is also going to be part of today's podcast recording. Let's just start from the beginning. So bring us back to 2023, when your love story actually began. So where are we? What were you doing at that time, Sunanda? What were you doing, Jordy? How is the setting?
We met in 2020, 23, 24 beginning.
Yeah.
So I came to France in 2023, but we didn't know each other then. Jordi had just moved to the Savoie region of France. That's right. And he was working in Annecy. And I had moved to France in 2023 December for an internship program. It was like a part of my curriculum in my university. And I was here for 6 months. So I was very excited because it was my first time outside my country, and going to France was a big deal for me coming from India, because we have always heard so much about it there. And it was okay during December, but slowly, when you live in a country where you don't know the language, or you see so many new faces, you kind of feel a little lonely. It gets lonely at some point, and you just want to go out and make new friends and feel like you belong to the place. I think during February, that's when we met, during February. And um, I was on this dating app. It was called Hinge. And I was very, very confused what I'm supposed to do, because I didn't know. Because back in India, we were like, French people are very rude. They are not nice. But I didn't experience that at all. Every French person I've come across were all very helpful, very nice, very caring. I had very good colleagues too. And finally, I met him on Hinge. And I was not very sure what I'm supposed to do. And later we started talking on Hinge. I think we spoke on Hinge for 3 days, and we decided to meet in the next weekend. And I told him, what's the plan? Like, what are you planning? Like, what kind of date it is and stuff like that. You want to continue? What happened after that?
So yeah, she asked me that. I just asked her if she wanted to go around New Zealand, because she used to work in Montreux, which is between the mountains. It's a very small town. So I think she was very excited to go in a date in the beautiful city like Montreux in Switzerland, on the Lake. And so I just give her this opportunity to come and to go to eat or to drink and just walk around in Montreux, because it's a very beautiful city, a very romantic city. And and when Montreux did everything for me.
Yeah. I think I was not I was not very. So one funny part about first meeting, when I met him, I was not really looking for love or something like that. I just wanted to make friends in a new country, and I did not know how to do that. Living in a very small town like Morzine, it was very difficult to find people around. And I'm from a country where you find like at least 100 people next door. Like you have a lot of people, a lot of population. And when I came to France, I was like, there are so less people. I do not know how to make more friends. So I went on Hinge and I was like, okay, I will meet people and I will make friends. So when we met on the first date, after the first date ended, it was absolutely beautiful. But when the first date ended, I was like, okay, so we can be friends.
It sounds like your intentions were a romantic date. It sounds like the setting was actually very romantic. Was that your intention, or what was your intention when spending time with her?
My intention was not to be friends. Usually it's worked like that. But I was okay if she wanted to be friends. I told her in the car. She told me I want to be friends. I said, okay, my friend. I just wanted to show her like I'm okay with everything. She was just
He said, okay, my friend. That's exactly what he said. And I understood that he's saying it in a sarcastic way.
It sounds sarcastic. But I think that's also a little bit like a culture difference there, no? Like French people being French people.
Yeah.
stereotyping here right now.
Exactly.
So, but obviously you're not friends anymore. So there are a few things happened in between. But I'm just wondering, before we get to the next steps on how your love story evolved and how you officially became boyfriend, girlfriend, started dating. Sunanda, I'm sure you did not use Hinge before. This is how it sounds like. And also Hinge, especially Hinge, I feel like, at least in Germany, depending on where you use it, it's usually a dating platform.
Yes.
It's not the case in France? Is it used to make
No,
friends as well?
so Hinge, yes, Hinge has this option where you can select, like you are just looking for some friends. You can select the option.
Is this what you selected?
N-
Not me. Me, I select. You can.
I selected friends, and he selected
I
romantic.
select. You can select several.
Yeah, you can select. Yeah, it's not necessary that you need to select only friends. You can select you want to make some friends, you want to have a romantic relation. You can select many options. So I selected 2 options.
Yeah, and usually I select 2 options too because you can be someone very important. You can be a friend to good.
So I understand correctly that if one of you would have the setting only want to make friends and the other one like, hey, I'm looking for a romantic relationship, you wouldn't
would
have
not
matched
meet.
on this. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
And how did you go from friends to partners? What happened out of sudden?
It was on the first. I think it was on the first. The first.
Yeah, I think it was on the first date. I told him that I want to be friends, but I was very confused as to the mentality in France. For me, it was just like maybe they want to take it slow and they want to just see and date, because this generation is crazy that everyone just wants to be, they want to date for a while and then 2 people just going separate ways. But for me, it's really scary to do that. I'm a person who is very emotionally attached to people I be with. So it's very difficult for me to just date on a casual level and then just go in our own ways. So I told him I was very scared to mention anything. So I just told him, okay, we can be friends. But that was not the case. I really liked him. One thing I really liked about him, which I have not seen in a lot of people around me, was when I asked him, what's the plan? He literally gave me a full-fledged, full-blown itinerary about what we're going to do on the date. He said, okay, I will pick you up at this hour. I will pick you at 3 p.m. We will go to Montreux, maybe sit by the lake and have a sandwich. And in the evening, while returning, I will show you the night lights in a city called Evian.
Yeah.
In a city called Evian, and maybe have some dinner later, and then I will drop you back. And that was pretty amazing because he had an entire idea of a date. And I was like, wow, this guy has it planned. He knows what he wants to do. And I was really impressed by that. That was the first thing that impressed me. And even during the date, he was very caring, very soft. He treated me like very softly, and I really like the fact that about him, because I like being treated uh, very softly, very kindly, just being caring, offering water when you're seeing that, like noticing things about a person, noticing if they are tired, if they want to sit, just things like that. He notices, and that's what impressed me on the first date. He notices everything you do.
So he met you on an emotional level as well, as far as I understand, and he really took care of you. I love this. Sorry for interrupting, Jordy. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, I was about to say that this is what she expected from a man, I think, and on the first date, she was smiling continuously. She is so sensitive, so kind that of course on the first date when I saw that, I was like, wow, this girl is very emotionally very beautiful. Like she's exactly what a man needs. Like it's exactly the um, the picture of the woman I have in my head. Uh, this beautiful girl with emotions, sensitive, elegant, so much different things that she has, and very kind. And of course, I knew we would be together on the first date. When we came back in the car by night, I was driving on the road to pick up her back to Montreux. And uh, and I remember she looked at me with a big smile in the car, and she put her head on my shoulder while I was driving. And I was like, wow, this girl, she's so amazing. And when I reach and I go back to Annecy, where I used to live, she just put on a story about me. Uh, she was so grateful just for this. It was not a big thing, but she was so grateful. I was like, wow, this woman is really incredible, and she deserves way much more. And from these days, I just
Yeah, you put a lot of effort, obviously the both of you, a lot of effort into your relationship to get where you nowadays. Because as I've learned in the beginning, I thought you closed the distance, but you guys are still dating on long distance. Um, let's get to that later. I'm just wondering, because Jordy, you were saying that Sunanda is everything you're looking for in a woman. May I ask the both of you, like, how was your dating life before? Like, what type of characters would you date before you met each other?
um, very good question. I met a few girls, but it was not for a serious relation. I never found the good person until Sunanda. And my previous relationship was with a girl. I was not the same age, and I was not that confident that I am today. So I was not able to. I don't know how to explain it. She was very good. She was looking very good, but that's all. And I think at the time I was just searching something for my ego, maybe, and I don't wanted something more. And this girl was creating a lot of problem in my life, and uh, and I was like, this girl make me feel like the only thing a girl want in a man is uh, the 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 money, the spending and things like that. I was thinking about that because this is what I used to live a lot with. All the dates you can do a lot of dates. Usually it's only who you pay and things like that. And I was boring about that. I was like, okay, I don't met any girl which is very uh, how can I say that? I don't know how can I say that. But until Sunanda, I
Emotionally
met a lot.
emotionally
Yeah,
intelligent, I think, right? Yeah.
yeah. First, yes, that, but it's like I don't know. It's very complicated, I think, when you're a man because you have some obligation to do the first step and things like that. And it's I did it a lot in the time, and I regret it for few people.
It was very different from what it was for Jordy. Yeah, it was. I was dating this guy for a long term, for 3 years. We were together for 3 years, and I was almost engaged to the guy. Yes, and we were dating for the first 1 year. It was okay, but just a nice guy, a normal guy who's just doing normal things, working, doing his things. We used to go on a lot of bike adventures because I love bikes. I love motorbikes and stuff like that. So we used to do a lot of adventures on bikes and stuff like that. It was good in the beginning, but slowly it became very not physically abusive, but very mentally abusive, like things like not talking to me for like a week, vanishing just out of the blue. I used to get calls from random women claiming that he was flirting with them and stuff like that. And I didn't know what to do at that point. And finally, in 2022, December, I found out that he was cheating. But I didn't really have any proof. It's just a woman's intuition, a gut feeling that I had that I feel like there's something wrong, but I don't have any solid proof. So I was just waiting for a proof to discontinue the relationship. But I never found a proof. So finally, in August 2023, I don't know, I got this power in me suddenly, just to stand up for myself and not tolerate it anymore, because the relationship is honestly like the same thing. I think it was a lot about the money. We stayed in the same house, but he never paid rent, never paid for food, never paid for grocery. We stayed together for like more than a year, and he never paid for anything, never, not even once. And finally, in August, there was this one weekend, I think he came to see me. And I think in Indian rupees, he spent around 100 rupees, Indian rupees, to come see me, which is like €1 in European currency. He spent that to come to see me. And when he was leaving, he was like, "Can you give me back that money? Because I used it to come to see you." So, yeah, that was the point. I was like, no, it's not like he was broke. He had money, but he just didn't want to spend it on me. Not even €1. So I was very exhausted by this continuous manipulation. He used to manipulate me into thinking he does not have the money, but he does have it. He spends it on himself, but not on me. So finally, I was done with the manipulation and I was like, it's over. I don't have any proof, but it's over. I don't want to continue it. And yeah, it was very chaotic because our families were involved. As I said, we were about to get engaged in November. I was still supposed to come to France in December. So our families decided that we would get engaged in November and then I could go to France for my internship. But I was brave enough to take that step before. And finally, we broke off, the connection between our families, the engagement and everything.
Is this something you are openly talking about as well? Is it okay if I ask you if you follow questions on this topic?
Yes, it's not a problem.
Yeah. How, like, because I understand the Indian culture depending on which part of India you're from, and obviously all families are different as well. It can be a difficult topic to address with your family when you tell them, listen, I would like to end the engagement with this person. How was it for you? How did your family react when you told them how you're feeling about it?
My parents were not, they were very supportive, I will say. In India, parents normally don't support things like that. There are a lot of parents who do. I'm not saying everyone, I'm not generalizing, but most parents don't. They don't support these kind of things and they're just like, just go ahead with it. They care a lot about what people think, the social life and everything. But with my parents, they were not very angry about it. They were just, they said, do what's best for you. And they were not angry, they were sad. They really liked him a lot. And they were looking forward to everything. And they were really surprised that I was going through that. They didn't have any idea that I was going through whatever I went through. And their only complaint was, why didn't you tell us before? You could have told us. So they were supportive. They were okay with it.
I'm happy that you've made that experience of having a supportive family. that is accepting your decision and that trusts you enough that you know what's best for you and that wants you to be happy. And also, as I understand, going to France, starting the internship, that was planned beforehand already. Needless to say that you had no idea that you will fall in love again, but this time on the other side of the world. So to get back to the situation in the car where you left things with, okay, French, knowing that there's a little bit more going on than just being friends, because obviously, and yeah, that's at least what I collect from what you are sharing, that on both ends, there was this thought of, damn, I want to get to know this person better. I want to see where this is leading to. And I feel like I could grow emotions, or I could build a relationship with this person that's beyond friendship. So getting back to the situation, Sunanda, where you texted Jordy about how much you like the date and how much you appreciate him, was this kind of the start of the kickoff of your relationship, or how much longer did it take for you to be official in a way, as far as you can call it official? Because I think only a few couples have the date where they're like officially dating, we're officially girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yeah.
We don't have such a date, for example. But how was it in your case?
I think we too don't have an official date like that, like where we are declaring, okay, we are dating from now. I think it just went with the flow. I think that's what happens. It goes with the flow. Like you don't just decide suddenly one day that, okay, we are dating. It was just with the flow. And I think official, I would not have, we don't have a date, but I think it was official when I went back to India. Because like us officially dating in a relationship, because Jordy he wanted to see how I feel once I go back to India, because he had this idea that maybe I am with him because I was here, and maybe I was lonely, and that's the only reason why. That's why I felt attached to him. But he wanted to wait until we go to India. He didn't want to wait. He wanted to give me the time. He just wanted to rush in. He was he was all in for it from the beginning. But he told me that he wants to give me some time to go back to India to see how I feel about him after we come at a distance, because distance can be good or bad. It can be both. Sometimes it makes the heart fonder of the other person, and sometimes it just makes you realize that maybe no. So when we had the distance between us, that's when we officially were like, okay, no, I think we want to be together. Now we want to be together. I think it was like that. But yeah, we don't have any official date when we started, dating, because I think after the first date, we spoke about it on the second date, and we both, of course, we are on a dating app. We are talking to more than one person. We are maybe talking to 2 or 3 people, and both of us were doing that, and we were speaking to one other person, both of us. He was speaking to another woman, and I was speaking to another guy. And after our first date, both of us logged out of Hinge, and we were like, okay, bye bye. To the other person, we were like, okay, we can't meet or we can't go on a date, because both of us did that without discussing it. Like he did it on his own and I did it on my own, because I just felt it was right. And on the second date when we met, we spoke about it, and he was like, okay, I have done it. And I was like, oh, me too.
I can also definitely tell that in just a couple of months, because you didn't stay for too long in France, you've built a lot of trust among you guys as well.
Yes.
It evolved very, very fast. Is it like, because Jordy, you've shared your dating experience before, and as far as I understand, dating Sunanda is just the complete opposite experience. Like, how did it feel for you? Was it scary in the beginning? Was it just pure joy and you were just curious to see where this is going to lead? How is it to go from dating but not really being emotionally involved to meeting this beautiful woman and she's wrapping you around her finger before you even know it?
I think maybe I was a little complicated too, because for me it's I was scared usually to do the step to be to have a relation more. Yeah, I was scared of that. I did not try if I had any doubt about it, and sometimes maybe too much. I had opportunities, but I was not sure, so I did not try, and and it was okay. But it's true that in February, few days before I met her, I was feeling a little alone, and I was like, it's good to meet people, but felt like it's always the same, and I don't know how to explain it, but when I met Sunanda, what is important for Sunanda, I feel we have a connection, we have a brain connection, very important, even emotionally. Uh, Her emotion is very important to me. So when she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I kissed Sunanda," so yeah, her emotion is very important for me. So I don't know I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, you're supporting her emotionally. I know what you mean. It's difficult to find words for that because
Yeah.
especially if you're dating so many frogs, speaking out of my own experience, I've kissed a lot of frogs, so to speak. And I'm so glad that I don't have to go through this whole dating phase anymore, that I just found my one person on the other side of the world. I mean, but now we made it work somehow. But I mean, dating is so exciting, but it's so annoying at the same time. And it's like, oh my God, you meet people where just like, where do you even come from? From where did they send you? What's going on?
And it's very, I was not expected to meet someone from another country. It already happened just before, when I used to live in the north of France, but it was not a very serious relation. And I was not expecting to get that kind of relation, but I was surprised, and I can't explain it. Like she's so nice for me, but since we met, I don't see. I don't know. She makes everything feel easy. So it's I can't even explain it. It's just I I don't need anything else than being with her and spending time with her. That's,
That's a really good point you've made. Like, she makes everything easy because in the end, relationships shouldn't be hard. It's obvious that you have to put
yeah.
a lot of work on both ends, but it shouldn't be too hard. And if you feel like, I mean, it's so cheesy to phrase it like this, but finding your other half and feeling full again and not being worried about anything you're saying, anything you're doing, that the other person is just accepting you the way you are, without playing a role and just being yourself. And that's very refreshing once you find someone where you can just let your guard down and, still feel like this person is taking care of you and is making sure that has your best intentions. Let's phrase it like this. And it's amazing that you found that even though it's on the other end of the continent as well. I mean, this is what the podcast is about. There's just so many couples out there dating on long distance, versus 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 kilometers away, 13 hours of time difference. And it's just so crazy to know that besides all of this, you can make it work. It's you spending an amazing time together, really getting to know each other during your time in France, Sunanda. There was this goodbye. There was this moment where you had to say your goodbyes, where you, Sunanda, flew back to India. You had some time to really think about where is this going and what do I want. So what did you think during that period of time in India? How did you feel?
I think I was scared. I was very scared because I think because we knew each other for a very short period of time before I went back. It was just, we met on February 29th. It was a leap year, I remember. We met on February 29th and March, April, May. I was here until May and it was just 3 months. And I was very scared, very, very scared about where this is going because he had doubts about how I would feel once I'm back. But I absolutely knew that I wanted someone like him. I knew what I wanted, and it was him. And when I was flying back, I was scared that he wouldn't feel the same. I think we both felt the same thing. He thought I wouldn't feel the same, and I thought he wouldn't feel the same. And even I had this thought in my mind that maybe he'll not come to India to see me. And I didn't know when I can fly back to France because I still had 1 year in university left to graduate. And I could not travel to France during that time because I will have my college submissions, projects, examinations, and stuff like that. So, yes, I was very scared. But once I reached, it took some time for me to get back to my country because the cultural difference is a lot between France and India. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of people, the food is very different. So I had gotten used to the food in France. And when I went there and I started having spicy food again, I was, yeah, I had to visit the washroom a lot. And I was just getting back to my life. But within 2 weeks, I was just like, I was very busy the first 2 weeks because I had to meet my friends, my family. It was a lot. And my sister was living in Mumbai that time in India. So I didn't fly back home. I went to Mumbai. I was like, before I meet my parents, I need some time for myself to think about it, to think what's going on and stuff like that. So I was just there and I thought about it. And 2 weeks later, I told him that, no, I want to be with him. I want to be with him. And he said the same. He said he wants to be with me. And he just said that he'll come to India. He'll come to India within a few months. Because, within 2 weeks, you were like, we're already missing each other. Yeah. I think I came back in May end, June, July, August. Within 3 months, he was in India after that.
Wow.
You know, my first time in India, it was very good. When I reached India, I realized this is the moment I realized she's Indian.
Because when I was in France, he didn't really picture me as the Indian girl. Of course, I look Indian, but we were not doing anything Indian. Like we were just having food, French food, Italian food, European food. And I was just wearing a lot of Western clothes. And when he came to India, he just saw a different me.
Yeah. Because, it's so much different. The culture here, we can be very rude very quickly. We can feel disrespected by someone for nothing. But when you go to India, everyone is coming to you. Everyone asks you the same question 20 times, the same question. So it's very complicated because you act like you are friends and you can be very angry very easily. And the environment is not the same. It was very hot.
He was a mess. The first time in India, he was a mess.
I was not expecting that. It was very wow. I had a little cultural shock because the world is different. The world is different. And after that, I came a second time.
I can imagine, especially for someone who's from a European country, similar to Germany, we're known to be a little bit more cool and more distance. And then you get to India and you're just like, oh my God, there are so many questions they're asking me. They're talking all at once. I don't know what I'm doing here. I have no idea to respond to first. I have no idea to whom to respond to first. And I am just so overwhelmed. Like, this is a lot of emotions going on right now. Just leave me alone. So that would just be my first initial thought. Like, I remember exactly how like the first time I met my husband's family. And I still like to think about it because again, it's also like such a different experience to everything I know, but they were standing like, it's like in a movie, they were standing in the frame of the door more or less all together, and they were all welcoming me with open arms. And I was just like, what's going on? I'm so not used to this. They don't know me yet. They see me for the first time. We just started dating. So we just made it official, like maybe 5 days ago or something like this. And then they are just standing in the doorframe, welcoming me like this, asking me a bunch of questions. But the first thing I got was a really warm, long hug from everyone. And I was crying because I couldn't handle my emotion. I was so overwhelmed because this is not what I've expected. And it's just difficult to prepare yourself for something like this because obviously you have a set of expectations when traveling in general, when traveling to a completely different country. There are a lot of stereotypes involved as well, but you will not know how it's going to be like before you get there, and you can't prepare for that moment. And I'm sure, Sunanda, you've told him a couple of stories, how your family is, how life in India is. But it sounds like Jordy, even though you've shared your experience, he couldn't process this until he actually visited India the first time.
Yeah.
So you came a second time. When was this? Which year? Which month?
The second time was this year. This year in the month of March. Yes, we had. Yes, but he was there for a very short time. During that time, he was there just for 2 weeks.
I came only for 1 week.
1
because,
week,
I
yes,
was
1 week,
working.
not 2 weeks.
Yeah, I knew she was about to come during April, May. During May.
I was supposed to come to France during April or May. It was depending on my university. So he came just for a week because he was working at the time, and he didn't get off more than a week. So yeah, it was for a very short time.
That's really, really short for such a long flight, just 1 week.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So,
He was there during that time. It was kind of more of an emergency than than a vacation. He was there because we were facing some kind of problems during that time with me. I was going through a lot with family and what I'm supposed to do. Like, Jordy and I have an age difference of 6 years, and he is working. He knows what he wants, but for me, it's like I'm just graduating, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I was going through a lot during that time because my parents wanted me to come back to my hometown, that's Darjeeling. It's in the northeast of India, and we have a family business like of hotels, and that's the reason why I was into the hospitality management thing. So they wanted me to come back, but for me, honestly, I feel like um, working on my own and building a life on my own is way too important for me to develop my character and develop myself as a person. I feel like if I just directly go enter the family business and start doing things just like that, it's too easy. I feel like it's coming too easy, and I do not want that for myself because I should know the hard work behind building something like that. And it was very difficult for me with my family, and also I wanted to stay with Jordy for a few years. Together, living together, just experiencing life together, because we didn't really have much time together. And it was becoming really difficult for me at that point. saying no to my parents. And in India, I feel like the family dynamics in a European country and in an Asian country, it's very different. You are very much dependent emotionally on your family, even if not financially, but emotionally, you're very dependent on your family. And you just, even though you're free to make your own choices, but sometimes, family just gets you in the emotional ground and they are like, do this for me and stuff like that. We are growing old and stuff like that. So the same thing happened with me. And they were like, we are growing old. We need you here and stuff like that. And I was just like, I didn't know what choice to make at that point. And it was so emotionally exhausting for me to continue with my university, my final year, submitting all the projects, understanding my family, what they want, understanding what I want. So I was like, I told Jordi that I don't know if we can work it out. And I think that's a problem every long distance relationship has, especially at a distance of India and France. And there were a lot of thoughts in my mind because it's not really easy for an Indian to get a visa for France because the passport is not very strong. So it takes a lot of effort and energy to just come to visit him. And I had a lot of things in my mind and I started thinking with my head. And I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's not logical to continue the relationship like that. I have my family to take care of. And there was a lot going on, and he was very scared at that point. He did not want to lose me. It was the same for me. It was very difficult for me too. But it was more difficult for him because he didn't know exactly what I was going through. He was confused. And so he was just like, okay, I'm coming to India. And he just booked his flights. He got the visa in 2 days and he just booked his flights and he came to see me. And we spent a very good 1 week, very good 1 week, very emotional. And he told me, I will give you some time. Just take your time. There is no rush. I am here. The world is here. We are not going anywhere. Just take your time to graduate, to think about what you want, to speak to your parents, to speak to your family. And we will act according to whatever decision you make. It's of course I'm not agreeing with the fact that you will want to break up with me, but I will respect your decision because I know it's difficult for you too. That's what he said when he came to India. And I think it was a very difficult time for us during March because he came, he left.
Yeah.
He left within 1 week. It was too short for a time. And he left. I remember after he left, I went back to my apartment. I live in a different city than my parents, like for university. So I live alone. And I went back to my apartment and I saw there were small notes in different parts of my house, in the kitchen, in the toilet, below my bed, in my study table, on my laptop. And there were many different letters. And oh my God, it made me cry so much. He just left letters, the first letter, he gave it to me at the airport and I was reading it in the cab. And in the bottom, it was like, the next letter, you will find it under your pillow. And I go back home, I see under my pillow and I see the next letter. And he's like, I know you're crying right now, but you need to be strong. You need to be here and you need to work for yourself. And there were 6 letters like that. And I had no words. This guy, he left. And even after leaving, he manages to be there for me because he knows I will be alone and I'll be crying. So he wanted to be there. He wanted to be there for me.
Yeah.
And my God, it was so emotional. So for the next 1 week, we didn't speak. He was busy. He had to get back to work. He was busy and I wanted to keep my distance. But it was impossible to keep our distance. And we continued to speak after that, even though I did not know what I wanted to do. And we just continued to speak. And I don't know when we just decided to continue the relationship. Again, it was just like before. We just spoke. There was no we didn't stop speaking. Like, we didn't break up at all. And we just continued to speak after that. We were speaking for a while, but it was very uneasy for both of us because I was suffering a lot mentally. I had to go to the psychologist, I had to get therapy, and I was a complete mess during that time. So, and he was there for me. He was there for me in every step during the difficult time I was having. And he didn't even care if I never told him that I want to be in a relationship with him again. He never had any clarity about what I want. And still he was there for me. He was just there without wanting anything in return. He was there for me selflessly, yeah. And I took some time for myself. I took therapy and I was just being on my own. And finally, I graduated in the month of June. And I had some time to myself. So I just went on a solo trip. And I was like, I need to get things done. I need to think, honestly. And I thought a lot about it. And I was like, I don't think I want to lose him for anything in this world, because just how he is. And I don't even need to tell him to be that way. He's just like that. I don't need to ask anything for him. And I don't think I can find anyone better than him. He's just, the word is perfect. He's just perfect. And I decided, okay, I'm going to get a job in France. And I spoke to my family. I told them that, listen, hey, I understand you have your business, but your business is not going anywhere. I will come back. I just need to work for a few years. I need to be with my boyfriend. I just want to do my thing, find myself, work on my own, and then come back. Come back in the future, maybe when me and Jordy are more settled and we know what we want to do. I just want to give us a chance, a fair chance. I don't want to leave it just there. So I told my family, and finally, my dad is not very happy about it, but he's not stopping me. So I get the signs. And my mom, she said, do what you want. It's okay. Go do what you want. It's your dreams. It's your dreams. Go get it. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, I will get my visa done and I'll come to France. And that's the reason why I'm here. I'm here to meet Jordy, of course, and also to talk to him face to face and decide what we want, where we want to work, where we want to stay, where we want to live, and just because when I go back to India, I will have a very short time to decide my stuff and just pack my things and come back. So I'll be coming back, I think, by the end of February next year. I will have 3 to 4 months to myself to just get my things done, pack my bags from India to come to France to stay here. Yeah, so that was the part which was difficult for us.
Are you the only kid of your
No.
parents? Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have an older sister.
And she's living in India as well, may I ask? Or where she
Yes, she's
at the moment?
She's living in India. She used to live in Mumbai for a while in a different city. And she shifted back to my home, like with my family, just 1 year back. Because in India, the culture is normally you stay outside for university and college, but you go back to your parents once you finish with your studies. It's not like Europe, where you go on your own and you're doing your job. You're living on your own. But I feel like that's another cultural difference. Like in Europe, people expect you to start working early and live on your own, be free and be independent. But in India, you're expected to come back to your parents. Like if you're living without your parents against their will, it's like, people are not happy about that.
I understand that there are some expectations, some family expectations involved. This is also why I'm asking, because I understand that it would be or might be a different situation if you would be the only child, because there are high expectations involved. I understand it's a cultural difference, so that's definitely something we can't tackle in this episode today. I have a few other episodes on cultural differences in general. So for everyone who's listening and watching right now, check it out. I will link it below. But yeah, again, still like the family expectations, not knowing what you want, figuring out life, having a boyfriend sitting in France who's putting his whole ego aside, who's just focusing on you, making sure that you're fine, that you find your path without pressuring you too much. It's just a lot to take in, and I understand that at some point there will be a breaking point where you feel you can't handle it all by yourself anymore. So I'm really happy to hear that you found help, so that you got professional help as well. And obviously that Jordi supported you without pressuring you. And I think that's very, very important. That just tells a lot about your healthy relationship, because he could have very well be just like egoistic and be like, hey, I set your deadline. I need to know where I am at as well. I have to plan my life as well. I'm 6 years older than you are. So we need to figure it out. Otherwise I'll just be gone. But instead he stepped back. He gave you the time to heal. He gave you the time to figure it out. And then you came back together and figured it out together, up to a point where you nowadays that you, Sunanda, are searching for a job, that you are going to pack your things next year in order to live in France, in order to live with Jordi and to close the distance. Which pretty much brings me to the next step. Like, chapeau, Jordi. I really have a lot of respect for you, reacting the way you did and putting yourself or setting yourself back, like not putting yourself as a priority, because you understood that there's so much more to figure out before you keep on walking together. Really a lot of respect for this. There are not so many people that can do that. That just shows again how much you appreciate each other. To the next steps, to your future plans. The plan is to close the distance. The plan is to live in France. The plan is for you, Sunanda, to find a job, hopefully soon, crossing fingers.
Yeah.
What else do you have planned for the next few months, as far as you can plan? Because I know that is so difficult in general.
Yeah. For the few months, I'm here until September. We are going to see his family in September. I'm meeting them for the first time. And then I'm flying back to India. I just want to, when I go back, I think Jordi is switching jobs after that. So he will be starting a new job, I think October or November, depending. And for me, I think I will just work with my older sister in the business, in my family business for a while until I come back. And I think Jordi wants to come to India in January, so we will go on a trip. I'm planning to take him maybe to the south of India, because he has not been to the south; he's been to the north. So yeah, January is going to be January or February, depending on of his work. And then by February, I think most probably it will be February, because it will be time for me to come to France that time. And I will need help with my luggage, because I don't think I will have luggage allowance just for a single person. So I think I will need Jordi to take my luggage too. So yeah, that's the plan. And we are planning to shift together. Like, it depends on the job he gets, where he's planning to work, because he plans to work in Switzerland. But if he does not, he will stay on this side, the Savoie region in France, and I will also work in the same region. So yeah, February, I think February end or March, we will shift to the same apartment, maybe.
Maybe? No?
No,
For sure?
not maybe, for sure. Yeah,
La maison.
yeah, for sure.
That little word, maybe.
Yeah, maybe March or maybe in April. Like it depends on the time. I'm sure I'm gonna go.
He's like shocked. What? That's not safe yet.
Maybe you'll not come. Yeah.
No,
So
like I
hard to
thought,
get here.
I think
Oh.
the foundation of our relationship is trust, completely trust. We never had problem with trust, him and I. We have always been very open with sharing how we feel. That's one point. We never, it was very surprising for me because personally for me, I face a lot of difficulty in sharing my feelings. It's very difficult for me to share my feelings. Um, Even for him, actually. It's the same for him because I spoke to his sister and that's what she had to say, that he does not share his feelings.
yeah, and it's way much complicated for me to share the feelings to Sunanda
Yeah.
because of what she used to live in the past. So
Yeah.
I try to keep that thing.
We have had like fights, like every time we fight, we have never had a fight about why are you doing this or why are you doing that or you disrespected me or we never had a fight like that. We had fights, but it was because why don't you share your feelings with me? And he'll be like, why don't you share your feelings with me? And it's just about that all the time. We are trying to save each by not sharing our feelings with each other. But because I feel like if I share my feelings with him, he will become upset and I don't want to upset him. And he thinks the same way. He doesn't want to tell because it will upset me. And he does not tell me because of that. And later I'm like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, it will upset you. And I was like, I didn't tell you because it will upset you. And we are just laughing in the end. We are just crying and laughing together. And we are like, we are stupid. We are just in love like that. Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the first thing. But yeah, we don't hesitate to share those feelings anymore. We just tell how we feel and we don't feel afraid that I never feel afraid that he will judge me. If I tell him this, he will judge me in this way. Or if he tells me something that I'm going to judge him. We're always open to listening to how we feel about different things, different topics, because we are very different culturally. So we are most of the time asking each other, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? To know how we feel, how the cultural difference is going to affect us. And the second thing is trust, of course. We never had any problem with trust, ever, even with the distance. We always trusted each other way too much.
Yeah, I'm not scared about that because um, I feel like if someone wants to go with someone else, he is able to do it, and it's just like I told to Sunanda, even if she wants tomorrow, for example, if she will be happy to leave me, then I will be happy too, and I will support her no matter what. I don't want to support her to stay with me. I just want to support her to be happy, to find what make her happy. If it's with me, it's good.
You make
It's
me
not
happy.
with me, yeah, and it's good. But I want to say that we never know, in life, and yeah, in a difficult situation, I can always remind that no matter what she wants, I will support her. That's all.
No, you should not support me
I will support you in your decision.
in my decisions.
Yeah, the decision that makes you happy.
Yeah, he's just like that, and it's not like he's just like that with me. He's like that even with his friends. He's always there for his friends. We were in the supermarket 3 days ago, and I had this fight with him because of that. We were at the supermarket, and his friend calls, and I don't speak French. So there was this lady. She was just talking to me in French, and I don't know. French people they have this weird thing. Even if they can't speak English, they will not just to torture you. They will just continuously speak French. And the lady, I told her I don't speak French, and she was trying to tell me something. And I was like, Jordy, can you come here? I don't speak French. Please be here for me. And then he was like, he spoke to her in French and he just did something. And again, he went back to talk to his friend on the phone. And again, that lady told me something, and I'm like, Jordy, can you come here? I'm struggling. And then finally he came and I was so angry with him. And when I left and I was like, you can call your friend back later. You can tell you're busy. It's possible that you're busy, you're out. He is always available for his friends no matter where he is. He's like that for everyone, not just me.
But I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah, he does not have a lot of friends. He has very few friends, but he is always available for them no matter what. He's always there for them. No matter how no matter how they are to him. He just wants to be there for people. He just wants to, be the bigger guy.
I mean, that's definitely selfless. That's selfless, and that's
Yeah.
someone you can rely on no matter what. That's a quality you don't find that often anymore, unfortunately. So that's a great quality. I understand you were upset in that moment, but he is showing up for you the same way he does for you, for his friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he will show up for your family, for your loved ones as well. If the language barrier, I'm not sure, does your family, do they communicate? Like, first of all, Jordy, did you meet her family? Like the whole family already?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very weird.
And then you communicated in which language?
So they don't speak any common language. My family, my family speaks 3 languages, but neither of them is English or French.
Yeah.
And he does not speak my language from India. So he knew few words like basics, but he does not really speak the language. But he did meet my family. I remember he was there in my hometown for like a day, not a day, 2 days. But on the first day we were staying in my family's house. But on the second day we were staying at a hotel, at the Airbnb. And on the first day, he met my dad first because my mom was at home, my dad was at work. And my dad was just sitting in his office, and he went in, and my dad is just looking. And my parents, of course, know that I'm dating a French guy because the town I live in, it's a small town. And my dad is a social worker. So everyone knows us in the town. He's a businessman, he's a social worker. So like people kind of know us. And people on my Instagram, they were like talking about it. Some people are going and telling my dad about it and my mom about it. And they knew that I was dating him. So when when my dad saw him, he was just like looking at him like that. And he was doing that. And he said, hello. Hello, my name is Jordy. He said in my language, like, I'm a Bengali. So you have 27 regions in India with 27 different languages. And I am from the region which is called Bengal, and we talk in Bengali. So he just knew how to say, my name is Jordy, and Jai Hind. Jai Hind is like a slogan you say for Indian people, like victory to India, something like that. And he just saw my dad, and he was like, my name is Jordy in Bengali, and Jai Hind. My dad was like, what the hell is he saying? Why is he saying Jai Hind? But he was okay. He smiled, and he was like, he just said hello, that's it. And then I translated some of it. And my dad was like, okay. Then my dad invited him to stay in our house, but he wanted to stay in the hotel. We have a hotel, like I said, our family business. So my father was like, ask him to stay at our house. But I thought it would be too risky. Like, I thought if he comes to my house, my dad will like interrogate him or something like that.
It looked like, because I remember she asked me to go in the office of her dad. Her dad was sitting like that with the eyes almost closed, like a very suspicious guy. And she put a single chairs at 2 meters of her dad. And she said, you can sit and talk, but I don't even know how to talk to this guy. He was looking very weirdly at me.
He was scared. He was very scared.
I was like, what? I did not know what to do. I was just sitting. I looked at him. Okay, you're good.
My sister and I, we were laughing because my sister was with me. I was not alone. And when we left, he told my sister that I know what's going on, I know it's her boyfriend. And my sister was like, and my parents were these parents who were like the typical Indian parents who used to be very strict about not having a boyfriend. So until I was 21, I was not allowed to have a boyfriend. So they are that kind of parents. They were and suddenly seeing their daughter with a French guy out of nowhere, they were very surprised. And then we went home to meet my mom. And that was a moment I will remember for the rest of my life. So we were waiting in the living room, and my mom was. So we had a family function on that day. Like some of my relatives, it was my nephew's birthday. So my mom, she was getting ready for the birthday party, and I was just waiting in the living room, and I said, "Mom, Jordy is here," and she was like. She was not happy about it. She was like, okay. And we were just waiting in the living room, and she didn't get out. She was just inside for like 15 minutes. And I went back in and I was like, he's waiting. And she came out. And this was after a 23-hour flight that Jordy had. He had a 23-hour flight, and he came and directly went to meet my parents. So it was very stressful for him. So he was just sitting, and my mom, she came out, and he did the same thing with my mom. My name is Jordy, and Jai Hind. And then my mom, she was just staring at him for a while, and she was giving that fake smile, and she was like, okay. And suddenly my sister, I don't know what happened to her. She asked Jordy to say, Jordy, please say Ami Pagul. So Ami Pagul basically means I am mad in my language. So he said Ami Pagul. And we asked him, do you know what it means? And he said, no, I don't know what it means. And I said, it means you're mad. And I don't know what happened to him, what got into him. He just looked at my sister and he was like, tui pagol, which means you are mad. And I don't know how he learned that, because he does not speak the language and he just knew it. And he just said, tui pagol to my sister, and my mom, she was laughing a lot. She laughed continuously, and then the mood was normal, and then she was okay. And then normally she spoke to her. And on the day we were leaving, he was meeting my parents before leaving. And my parents asked me to translate and tell him. They were like, buy him a translation so that he can speak to us next time when he visits us. Tell him to have a happy journey and stuff like that. They were okay. They were good. And they were chill about it. So I was pretty okay too. Yeah. That was the meeting with my parents. Very stressful.
That's a big step as well. But I love, like, all the couples I'm interviewing. Eventually the family is coming around and, accepts the partner as part of their family as well. It might just take some time, obviously. And it's just another story if you don't speak the same language, because it is very difficult to communicate. Also, Sunanda, I can only imagine you in the shoes of a translator. That's so exhausting. I've been there as well. Nowadays, my husband is speaking German as well, so it's a little bit easier. My mom also speaks English, but like just basic level, basic school English, yeah. But without a word, being able to understand each other is definitely tricky. So thank you so much, guys, for sharing your love story, for sharing where you're at nowadays, for sharing, your future plans as well, and all the little tips and tricks you shared as well. Your very personal stories behind you as individuals. I really, really appreciate you. I really, really enjoyed talking to you today. For everyone who would like to get to know you better, or who has some follow-up questions, maybe who's dating in a similar constellation, what's the best way to reach out to you?
I think Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Instagram.
Yeah. I'm very active on Instagram. But yeah. Yeah, you can follow me at the rate Sunanda Shaha. And we also have a couple account, by the way. It's called Croissant and Curry. Croissant for him and Curry for me, because I'm Indian. So you can also reach us out in Croissant and Curry, because we both use that account.
So for everyone who's listening and or watching, as always, feel free to contact them. They are quite open-minded, and I'm sure you're happy to share some details, some tips, some more of your personal stories. And again, thank you so much for being my guests today. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, hope to talk to you soon. Wish you all the best for the job hunt and hope that the move will be as smooth as possible to France next year.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you too. We enjoyed the conversation because I think it's the first time we are having a full-blown conversation about the entire relationship dynamics for us.
That brings me to the next. Thank you for this. So for everyone who wants to share their story as well, I'm looking for podcast guests. So fill in the form, and maybe we're going to sit down anytime soon, and you will tell your love story. I am on a little podcast break right now, but in the break I will record a few more podcast episodes. So feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, that's it basically, guys. Thanks again and bye.